Well, I've always been a fan of the aesthetic of the Epiphone Frontier that was made in the early 60s, through the late 60s, I think. And it's just a guitar that was never reissued. And there's a whole lot of old ones. You know, there's not a lot, they don't come up that often. And like many old things, they're always in various states of disrepair and things like that. So, a dream of mine for a long time, I bugged Gibson for a long time to make this Epiphone Frontier. And the double pickguard is kind of a thing that didn't really exist on all Frontiers, but probably was on a few custom ordered ones somewhere. I saw one time, and it's always a look that I love because the pickguard's so beautiful on this thing. I don't know, I just love the look of the guitar, and I always wanted one, and I never had one. So that was probably the main reason for me kind of bugging them to make one. The pink interior on the Gibson case is a very Gibson thing to do, have that pink interior. So I wanted that kind of nod to the history of the company. But the exterior Tolex is more of a Western theme, which I feel kind of carries into what the pickguards do and the whole aesthetic of this guitar. Like, I've even worn the edge off this bridge already. like if you see this one and then you feel this one, it's actually worn off, So they're releasing this guitar during the 150th anniversary of Epiphone. So to be a part of such a long-standing brand in some small way, I love to be parts of things like that, particularly in a revivalist kind of way, like reviving something that hadn't existed since the early 60s. It makes me feel good, and not because I had a wonderful idea and made this up. Somebody else made this up back in the 60s, but it's worth celebrating. And to be a brand that long, I think, is worth celebrating in any business, not just the guitar business, but it's really a remarkable thing that they've, lasted in that way. Well, I always have a goal anytime I'm, working with anybody to develop something. What I'm looking for is a really high quality tool. I'm looking for something that I would use. And this is something this particular guitar I've used every night that I've played on stage for the last, year and a half, and it gets better and better the more I play it. And so I think things that feel like you can count on them and things that will last you your lifetime, those are the kind of things that I'm looking to collaborate with people on, and instruments in particular, and I think we've done that here. And Epiphone has done a just incredible job of getting every minute detail as it should be on this instrument. And I can tell you firsthand, it's stage worthy and will get the job done in any venue you want to play in. I hope when someone picks this up that if they didn't have some sense of the history of what an Epiphone Frontier was, they would look at it and go, man, that's a really just beautiful, timeless design. And then maybe they can get into it a little deeper and see where it came from and why I wanted it to be existing in the world again. Every part of this guitar could not be more proper to the originals. I mean, from the way that the sunburst fades and the colors in it, just every piece of it just looks like it's an old guitar. And it's beautiful. You look at the back and the sides, it's just done correctly and with an attention to detail that maybe you don't get in a lot of things these days. They just knocked it out of the park, and that's all the things that I love about this, is that they went as true to the original as they could with modern building standards. You get something that plays in tune a lot better than an old one, and they probably beat 95% of the old ones out there. That's always my goal with making something new, is that it, has a proper amount of tribute to the old ones and is reliable and does the job. It's a work of art that does the work.